Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome back to another episode of Through the Keyhole. So we've got a few more camp builds to have a look at today, and as usual, these are not my builds, with the exception of this one here. They are just other players' builds that are found through the player vending mechanic in Fallout 76. So we're going to have a look around, get a little bit of inspiration, avoid being too critical, and see what other people are up to. So for those of you who are looking to submit your own builds, I've more or less got a plan in place now. I'll be letting you know the details of that in the next few days. But for now, let's jump in and have a look around, shall we? So, first build. So this one is a build that reminds me a lot of builds that were quite common early on in the game, or sort of just after release. It's a relatively simple basic structure, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty well executed. I like the look of it. It's got a very welcoming, homely vibe, apart from the missile turrets anyway. So it's really cool in that regard. Don't mind the mole rats, as per usual when I fast travelled into the camp. They decided to make an appearance, so I did the neighbourly thing and defended this person's camp for them. So we've got the brick tab on the go. Not the biggest fan of the electric chair on the balcony, but never mind. Looking pretty cool. Looks like a nice cottagey feel, which I quite like. The obligatory Pip-Boy, Vault Boy standee there to direct you towards the player vending. Little cramped side room here with the workbenches and the player vending in there. There's another one over the other side we'll take a look at in just a sec. But it's functional, you can get through there. I'd like a little bit more room if I was doing it, but it works. The fusion generator in the back, power armor station there as well, tucked out the way. Got another visitor here as well, making an appearance. So inside, not the most heavily decorated ever, but it works. Not the biggest fan of the random shag carpet square. I like the idea that they've gone for, breaking up the texture a little bit, but unfortunately that particular floor surface is not that well done, so it doesn't look that great in my opinion. Bit unfortunate, but more on the design than the player there, I think. Nice little back balcony out here with some instruments, nice place to hang out. Really like the view out there as well, that's cool. Swing around, take a look upstairs. Got their camp unit tucked out of the way by the stairs there. That's an approach I take quite regularly. So we've got a couple of 4-poster beds in here. Still feel like these are far too small for what they are. They look very cool, but they just need to be bigger, I think. Couple of nice bits of decoration in here. It's a little open. I could do a little more furniture, I think, for my taste, but all the essentials in place. Cool bit of White Springs carpet tucked in the bathroom here. Good that they've got a bathroom. That's something I'm getting notorious for forgetting, I suppose. Always a last-minute addition with me. Have a look around the balcony. I think for me, I'm not the biggest fan of using these security doors here. I'd have gone for something a bit more cottagey, one of the wooden style, something like that. Maybe from the Atomic Shop, which is what I've been using lately. So basically the nicest ones I've got available at the moment. But it does the job. Nice balcony all the way around on the top here. I do like that. You can walk all the way around the building. Good views all the way around. It's a nice little corner of the forest this. Just by the river here. We're just up from Somersville, this particular camp build. Using the fences there on the side. I'm not sure whether or not I'd have gone for those particular fences. They do look good, but they're a little tall for this upper level, I think. We definitely need some more options in that department anyway, for railings, things like that. It would certainly be a most welcome addition to the game, I think. We'll swing back around and make our way out. Yeah, it's a nice execution of a style that, as I say, was particularly common early on in the game's release cycle, just after release. It looks really good. I like this. Really homely. A little jealous of the Fastnac bonfire there and the Fastnac decorations in general, but there we go. On to the next one. And this one is something really quite different. Something I might have a go at doing something along these lines anyway at some point. Very, very open build. They've used the camp walls, well, building walls, I suppose, these brick walls, as sort of an outer fence for the camp, and just got an open inner area in the middle, which is pretty cool. I've seen a few people do this, but this one's a little on the large side, I think, because they've not quite managed to seal up that back corner, but it's quite a cool look. It's different. Doesn't stop anybody from just jumping over, of course, if they've got marsupial or something like that, but As far as keeping out the various wasteland denizens, it's quite effective there. Keeps all your crops and everything nice and protected in the middle of the camp, which is a pretty good approach. I'd like to see if I could pull something off in a similar vein around a tiny little pond if we find one that's small enough. And we can have a little bit of water in here as well, which would be cool. Here as well. I do like the little pool area under the canopies in the middle there. That looks quite cool. Nice little hangout space in the centre. All the essentials on the foundations around the outside. Plenty of crops in the middle as well. Water purifier there. The one major problem that I can see with this is for things like mole rats and rad scorpions. There's nothing to stop them popping up in the middle of the camp. So a few turrets pointing inwards might be a good move here. And those you around the one proper building they've got here. A few bits and pieces in here. Up onto the roof where they've got a very, very cool Mothman statue. I do love that these atomic chop statues are all animated and have little effects that you can trigger just by going up and activating them. Like the Hero of the Wasteland ones, those alpine horns over there, it's quite cool. A nice little feature Bethesda added there, I think that's fun. Yeah, nice looking build. A little different approach, which is always cool to see. I like that a lot, I have to try that one myself. So, this one I stumbled across a little unexpectedly. It was actually a nighttime discovery, so I've brightened it up a little bit for you, hence the slightly weird colours. But very pretty little build. But the Mothman, I don't know what you call that, icon, I suppose, on the front wall there. I think somehow they've managed to create a very, particularly with all the colours and the glowing lights coming through the window, a really pretty little build here, which I quite like. Kind of stopped me in my tracks, which is cool. So, just over the edge of a little pond here, built on the water. Fun to do. It'd be nice if we had a few more options to make that a bit more viable, but maybe slightly higher steps or some better bridge options rather than just using the foundations, but we've made good use of what we've got available here. And in a recurring theme for today's video, get more visitors. Player vending out front, plenty of decoration, I really like that. Little Pioneer Scouts sleeping bag there. Making good use of the roller garage door here to give access to the little crafting station here, which is cool. The Vault-Tec laminate flooring as well, and the Doomsday clock on there, nice. Quite a small build this one, but they've taken advantage of that to pack in as much decoration as they can, which is really cool. They have, however, locked the door, so with a little bit of concentration, we shall have to teleport inside. There we go, as if by magic. Managed to bypass the door locks. And yeah, very, very cozy in here. Not a lot of room to move around, but it makes this place feel much more thoroughly decorated, which is cool. Gotta keep an eye out for those TV plans as well. Not managed to pick those up yet, that's very cool. Little cuckoo clock there. I'm quite happy with quite pleased with the way that neon sign looks. They've done a really good job on that, the owner of this particular camp. It doesn't get too overbearing, which those can sometimes, which is quite cool. It's well achieved, that. Got a well decorated living room, bedroom space up here. Bed's kind of tucked in the corner there, but there's a lot of furniture, it looks good. Managed to blend the White Spring stuff in quite well, which is pretty impressive. That stuff can often be a little on the overly clean and posh side for camps out in the wasteland, so cool to see that pulled off as well as it has been here. Gonna hop through the window and get out. There we go. Cooking station out on the balcony here. Not sure how I feel about the water purifier clipping through the balcony here. It works, it certainly gives nice easy access to it, so it's sensible in that regard, but not quite sure about the final effect. A load more Fashionac decorations out here as well. Hopefully we're getting some more cool stuff with Graham's Barbecue coming up fairly soon. It would be cool to get some interesting decorations out of that. Liking the torches on the wall as well. You have to keep an eye out for those. If anybody knows where those are from, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on those. There's a few by the front entrance as well. And all in all, a very, very thoroughly decorated, really nice little build here. I made good use of the oil lamps and things, and the illuminated posters as well to give it a nice warm glow, which is cool. Definitely a build after my own heart there. Needed some steps on the front there, though. I did fall in the water trying to get in. So, for the last one, we have something that's, again, a little bit different, and I really like this. It's a really creative use of the space. So this is by Seneca Rocks. It's just where the Mistress of Mystery questline comes to a conclusion. No spoilers, don't worry. And they've got multiple buildings here, which I really like, and little sort of separate focal points, which is quite cool. And use the whole space rather than just building a single large structure in it, which is quite cool. Little vending area here. Gone for the windmills, always cool, always good. And a little balcony up here with a couple of foundations tucked in so you can get to the top of the rocks nice and easy with a little music performance area. And over on the other side, a nice little separate defense area. The grill, the spit out here. Somebody has actually found a good use for that basketball hoop. Get the right sport. Those things tend to look, particularly in Fallout 76, a little out of place. So it's really cool to see somebody's pulled that off quite nicely. I'll have to see if I can do something along those lines with that myself as well. Definitely like that separate little emplacement there with the defences. That's very, very cool. I've got another one hidden away behind the trees here as well. I like that they've managed to incorporate the different layers in, the different levels with all the rocks and stuff as well. It's a very, very creative use of the space. Little firing point for that side in case they get attacked from that angle. And we've got the different windmills up on the rocks there, so they can get access to the breeze. So I have fairly mixed feelings on the warehouse pieces. It's nice to have different textures, but I find them kind of bland at the same time, so I've not really used them very much. I've got a couple of ideas I'm going to try out. Hopefully we'll get some use out of them soon, but they are not the most interesting looking pieces, and with the destroyed windows as well in them, it's not my favourite look. But they've put them to good use here, which is cool to see. Plenty of furniture and all the necessary workbenches downstairs, nice and easy access from the front door there. Head on up the stairs. Fantastic view out over Monongah power plant there as well, in the northern forest. Misty out there in the early evening, which is cool. I'll head round to the inside. Got barn pieces on top to work with those mixed materials, which is always nice to see. And one thing I really like about this, they've used the cleaner barn pieces to build the upper level and use clean floor and clean furniture with this. It's a really nice theme. The bed doesn't quite fit, but everything else has got a distinct style, which is very cool. They've also worked with different angles on the roof and offset the peak of the roof a little bit, which is really cool to see. Gives it a slightly different feeling and vibe and breaks up that all too easy to fall into boxiness. A really nice achievement there. From long experience how easy it is to wind up doing the same thing and winding up with the peak of the roof right over the centre and that sort of thing, so it's always cool to see something that's a little bit offset. Certainly helps with the creative look of the place a lot, which is really, really nicely done here. A little unfortunate on the clipping with the rocks there, but there's only so much we can do sometimes. If you lift it up too much, the thing's it'll be pretty obvious that you're trying to avoid the rocks, and then it'll kind of spoil the look of the place sometimes, so got to make you do a little bit, unfortunately. Yeah, we've got a nice little path coming down from the main part of Seneca Rocks here to approach the camp on as well, which is really cool. It's a nice little effect. Yeah, all in all, nice use of the space, some very, very cool ideas, different concepts, different uses for things. The sleeping bags on the tables are a bit odd, but I'm sure they're effective. Yeah, all in all, a really nice, characterful, different little build. So, I do hope you enjoyed those. Definitely some cool ideas. Hope you guys got a little bit of inspiration out of it. I know I did. So, if you did like the video, then please do hit those buttons for me. It's always very, very much appreciated. Social media links down in the description as always, if you'd like to keep up to date with me over there. And do consider becoming a channel member as well if you're very much enjoying the content. The support is hugely appreciated. So, thank you very much to everybody who's already done that. And if you haven't already, do watch out for the live streams as well. We should be having a lot of fun. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be speaking to you all very, very soon.